DentalTubes.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a store card. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 94 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale and online at rathmitsubishi.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
Roads? Well, we're going, we don't need roads.
Last year, I don't even think you came by.
That's not true. I always come by. Our SID is always like, you don't need to do Feinbaum. Nobody even watches his show anymore.
I don't need lectures from others about good of the game. I don't lecture others about good of the game.
I appreciate all your questioning of it, and it just gives me a little extra.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you missed an earlier interview I did on ESPN because
I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it.
Okay.
What fans actually really do like you? I mean, I like you, but what fan base is like, they love Paul Feinbaum? Bama?
Okay. That was kind of a Saban thing because I got in on early on the Saban train, but I'm not sure I've got a seat on the next train.
Yesterday I said that we don't apologize here.
Tell us what's your beef. What's your beef?
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Seemed like everyone has a beef with college sports lately. Coaches at the spring meetings, Greg Sankey, little miffed at what's going on with college sports. Some of which I agree with, some of which I think he's doing his job. He's trying to hold up for the SEC and everything else. But I think that's where a lot of people are with college sports. This is ongoing. I guess a small beef, a first world beef, is that we're not doing the show in Destin or Sandestin or one of the beach. We could be doing the show from the beach right now and then come back for the
you'd get sand to the equipment though.
I would somehow, some way. What's Your Beef Wednesday? Brought to you by Richards Country Meat Market. Next 2 hours, Lewis Automotive Group hotline is open for you at 877-377-6963. Pete Nakos of On 3 is going to join us here in about 5 minutes in our opening drive, talk some college football. One of the beefs I also have is me falling into the fake tweet trap, which I did yesterday. When I saw this fake account that reported SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey has announced that the SEC will be breaking away from the NCAA effective for the 2028-2029 academic calendar year. This comes after months of speculation about the move. More to follow. Last week it was spam callers. Now it's trolls and spammers on X, which I always try and verify. I didn't retweet. I didn't put it out or anything. But I initially was like, oh, that's crazy. And then
you started to, though, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
You started to retweet.
I did, and it's just so.
Why would somebody? I mean, that sounds plausible. Other than we've heard no rumblings of this at all.
Yeah,
but yeah, that didn't. Well, I'm glad I wasn't on Twitter yesterday.
It came, Tommy. So it in the not the byline, but the profile said CBS Sports College Football.
And there's probably one little character, and they're different.
And then the characters, as you stated, were different. So I have fallen into this trap again. Didn't necessarily post something.
It only has 1,200 followers.
That's legitimately around what it was. I clicked on it. 5 minutes later, I was like, I need to verify this, and I click on it. Of course, it's a guy at 1,200 followers. But that has become like a fun thing to do nowadays. I don't personally do it, but I do laugh at some of the people that fall for it, including myself yesterday. So that's a beef of mine that you can't trust the internet, it seems like, and you can't trust X, which is my favorite, Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. That's the app I'm on the most.
What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. If you didn't get on the grill for Memorial Day weekend, get by Richard's. They've got ready-to-grill kebabs, gourmet beef patties, quarter-pound hot dogs, the beef franks, house-made sausages, plus homemade sides and desserts like mac and cheese, potato salad, and even sweet apple pie as well. It's perfect for Father's Day. Get a gift card for Dad, or just go in and get him what would Dad like, 2 or 2.5 inch bone-in ribeye? Something along those lines. Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville. Order online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
I know Colton's got a good primed up beef this morning. Do you have one rip-roaring and ready to go?
I went to Sam's yesterday to get some stuff. I did not need to go to Cafe de Sam's. You ever go to Cafe de Sam's?
I used to have a card for the gas, but then I figured out but the time I actually get gas, because the lines are 10 to 15 minutes, it's just not worth it for my time.
Yeah, they put in new pumps at the one near us, so it's made it much quicker. There's never a line anymore. But
okay.
Anyway, I was inside getting other things. I did not need a $1.50 hot dog combo yesterday, but apparently sometime recently they have went to, you cannot just walk up and order. You have to order on the Sam's Club app now.
Oh, what?
And I didn't necessarily have the beef because I didn't need the hot dog yesterday, but there were plenty of people beefing about this because there was one person of age in their 60s trying to explain to a bunch of other people in their 50s, 60s, and 70s how to order their hot dog combo on the app. So I wasn't beefing, but I was laughing. But the next time I'm in there and I want the $1.50 hot dog combo, I'm going to have a beef with that.
And now help me on this. U of A athletics, and this is not just a U of A thing, but sporting events have gone cashless, right? And so,
pretty much.
I mean, I have older relatives that don't have a smartphone. So, what are you supposed to do?
There was talk about
credit card and stuff, but they hate paying with it.
Well, yeah, and they do it at high school games. I hate that because grandparents trying to figure that out.
Cash is king.
There was some talk in the state legislature about the potential of a bill that cash always has to be accepted.
Yeah, it's our currency.
Yeah.
And
at least in Arkansas, you have to accept
and I
cash.
never carry it. But for my older relatives and friends, I get why you're griping.
Yeah.
Completely. That is a righteous beef.
Because here's the thing. If you don't have, then now you got to download the app. You got to create an account. I've got to give them an email. I've got to give them a credit card. I mean, at that point, I'm over. There is no impulse purchase with this, which might be a good thing in the long run for some of our impulse spending. But yeah, I mean, by the time they make you jump through 19 hoops, to heck with it. I don't want to go to the game. I don't want to go. I don't want that beer. I don't want whatever it is. They've at least at Arkansas games they've made it simple. You just go up and tap your credit card, tap your phone, whatever. That's probably the greatest advancement I've had is being able to put my debit card in my phone and just put the phone up there. That makes it a lot easier.
All right, well, let's talk beefs. Let's talk football. Pete Nakos of On 3. Pete was the one that covered the Nico, Dad, even Madden stuff to a certain extent. He talked with Sam Pittman recently, and he's our opening drive this morning.
He was hurt after the Tennessee game. He's tough. He played hurt. So now that he's healthy, and he wasn't even healthy in the bowl game that he totaled 400 and some yards or whatever it was. Now he is, and I think he never complained and all that. I think that he is a major reason of why I feel like we're going to have a really good football team.
This is the opening drive.
Pete, I do want to get into that clip from Sam Pittman because I know you talked with him about Taylor Green a little bit. Before we get into that, college athletics, maybe you're just having a bad win. What is your beef? What are you irritated by here this morning? Mine was fake accounts. I fell into a fake account Twitter yesterday.
Yeah.
What's your beef?
The SEC's breaking away from the NCAA.
What's your beef this
morning?
My beef, it's driving me crazy how no one can agree on the college football playoff. It's like, can we just get it to a spot where fans can actually understand it?
I keep going back and forth on it, and every what was it? Matt Rule said he wanted like 44 teams or whatever it was. Some wanted to. I think Kiffin was like. I think Kiffin said he just like keep it at 4. I know that. Again, there seems to be continuous bickering with what's going on there.
Everybody wants expanded playoffs, 44 teams. Is anyone over here arguing for the old way? Let's just go absolutely the opposite direction. No playoff, no bowl. We'll just have the writers vote. We'll just have a vote, and that'll be it. No,
BCS again.
just to go all the way to the other side. There needs to be a counterbalance to that argument.
I'm all set on that. I like the playoff, and I want the playoff to stay. I just think the bouncing around from the number of teams and how the format's set up. I just, like, when was the last time, like, we actually spent this much time talking about the NFL postseason in frickin', what is it, May? We're coming up on June. It's like, I just think, end of the day, it's just going to lead to more confusion and the bickering and the disagreement and the lack of clarity around the college football playoff definitely isn't growing the game.
Yeah, because this is about TV. This is about money. It's not about actually improving the format of identifying a champion, because I'm of the belief 12's too many. We've already exceeded the need of what we of the number of teams that really need to sit at the table. I think 8's about the right number if it was actually about the format, the championship, and making sure everyone that had a reasonable case to claim a title was at the table. Do you think 8's enough, or should it be 12 or even more?
I don't know if there's a perfect number. I like 16. I always think it's fun how the FCS playoffs are set up. I think the more games, the better, more entry. I know some people don't like that everyone gets a trophy narrative. I'm also, guys, I spend so much time talking to people, I don't exactly have the most, like, formed opinions on some of this stuff because it's my job to report it and not, dish off take. So I don't know what the perfect number is. I think 16's fine. I think from talking to people, though, college sports is going to enter a very interesting landscape if we move towards a model where the SEC and Big Ten have more power, and I think it just sets up the pathway for the future for a Super League.
So, Pete, you mentioned reporting. One more question before we get to some Arkansas stuff. You were accurate, spot on about the Nico and all the situation with Tennessee and now at UCLA. Just kind of take us back a few weeks ago, what that was like, just that process and everything else. And did you actually think he'd end up somewhere else besides Knoxville as now he's in UCLA?
Yeah, no. I know when I put out that story, it was on a Thursday. I just remember putting it out and being like, this is what I'm hearing. This is what the situation is. Obviously got quite a few shots taken at me on social media is what it is. I just never, I knew that the relationship between Nico and Tennessee wasn't in the best spot. I just, at that moment when I put that story out and working with my editors and stuff, I just didn't think it was going to get to the point where it left Tennessee. I just didn't, like, if he told me that, I could not have drawn it up like that. So it's going to be really weird seeing him playing in powder blue in Westwood this fall. And I know you guys are dealing with the aftershocks at Arkansas, too, with Madden following his brother back to UCLA.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Now, Nico is going to be one of, I think, 6 returning quarterbacks in the league. Now with him departing, I think there's just 5. Talen's one of those guys. As you see the pecking order of this league with quarterbacks, particularly returning, I'd probably put Nussmeier up there at the very top. Where is Talon on that list of quarterbacks in the SEC this fall, Pete?
I mean, I think you have to say he's in the upper half. I think what he did last year was really impressive, and then how he was able to still help Arkansas win football games when he's hurt was even more impressive. And the way Sam Pittman talked about him and how limited he was definitely made you start thinking about, like, okay, like, well, if he wasn't fully healthy last year and still won some football games, like, what can he do in 2025 with another offseason of Bobby Petrino? But I mean, I'm not saying anything here that you guys don't know about, but I would say that a lot of the 2025 season is going to be on Taylor Green's shoulders and what he can do for the offense and staying healthy. I think he's definitely in the top half. I don't think he's better than Nuss. It's hard to figure out where to put Arch Manning in that conversation just because, the expectations are sky high, but we really haven't seen him, like, start that many football games. Taylor Green is definitely one of the better quarterbacks in the SEC entering 2025.
With revenue sharing coming in, Pete, and, a semi-leveling of the playing field when it comes to NIL money and the money that can be shared with players. Will teams like Arkansas, will teams like Mississippi State, teams like Vanderbilt that had a rise next year, will we see more parity across the Power Two with the Big Ten and the SEC, or will the rich just still have a gap? Will the bigger teams still have the gap that mid-level and lower-level teams can't overcome?
Yeah, I think there's an opportunity for parity. I'm skeptical we're going to see any of that in 2025 because so many programs front-loaded, NIL contracts the last 6 months before revenue sharing kicked in. So I don't think the parity that revenue sharing could bring is going to happen this fall. There's definitely the chance of it in 2026 and 2027, but I'll be honest, guys, until we see enforcement or until this NIL clearinghouse actually comes down on an athlete and says, like, you can't sign this deal or you're going to be suspended or something like that, I am extremely skeptical that the blue blood programs that have found ways to provide a competitive edge in the NIL era are going to just simply disappear and not continue the way they've acted in the last 4 years.
When you look at Sam Pittman, where he's at, 5 years under his belt, what's important for him this year? Is it just getting to a bowl game? Is it winning 7 or 8? What's the outside perspective on Sam Pittman and his future at Arkansas?
So I wrote about this, and I know you guys want to get into it a little bit more, but there was definitely the speculation, the rumors last November, like, is this it? Is he going to come back in 2025? Obviously, he came back. He had hip surgery. He told me he feels better than ever. He's walking 2 miles a day. I would say the goal, I don't want to say it's the ceiling, but I think the expectation is he's going to win at least 7 to 8 games and make a bowl game. I think that's from talking to Sam and then obviously just trying to gauge where fans are at. I think that is kind of where that's where Arkansas needs to be in 2025. Taking a step back definitely isn't going to be acceptable, especially with a quarterback coming back in year 2 in the system. And I'm going to be really interested to see how the defense can take a step forward.
You think about their SEC slate. By the way, Pete Nako's on 3 with us here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. So that Ole Miss game, Pete, is really interesting to me. You got Simmons, first year as a starter after the Jackson Dart era ends. They've got a whole new slew of transfer players, kind of like they had last year. Is that a game Arkansas could pick off early in Oxford, just with so many players on an Ole Miss roster and having a veteran quarterback walking into Vaught Hemingway?
I am extremely interested to watch Ole Miss play football. And I was on, I did something with Alabama radio station Alabama yesterday, and they're like, how do you feel about Alabama? I'm like, I got to watch Alabama play some football before I'm like standing on a table and thinking they're going to make the playoff or something. And I kind of feel the same way about Ole Miss just because they did bring in so many transfers. And, year over year, Lane Kiffin has kind of struck gold in the portal. And can you do that again this year? And, it felt like there was a couple more surefire players in last year's portal class compared to this year's. Does it all look good? Does it all go well? I don't know the answer right now. I don't think we're going to know the answer until they put a football down on the field and go head-to-head with an opponent. I'm excited about what Austin Simmons can do, but I'm also not like, I think Ole Miss is obviously preseason top 25, but I think we really need to see them play some football first. So to answer your question after my breakdown on Ole Miss football, I think that it's definitely an early season game that's going to be a huge test to see how Arkansas can stack up against SEC opponents, and it's also going to be a good early season test to see how legit is Ole Miss in 2025.
Pete, last one before you let you go. You mentioned Ole Miss portals additions, and I know Lane Kiffin's had a lot of success there. Arkansas got a few guys, Shaq McCroy, Kittler, you retain Carmona. I know Arkansas's offensive line has really struggled the last 2 years. That's Sam Pittman's calling card. He's made his money in college football because of that. Is that going to be the thing that maybe pushes them over the edge in 2025 where they could get to that 7 or 8 wins like you're talking about?
I know that's what Sam's thinking. I know that he thinks, from talking to him, I think he's encouraged by what they did in the portal on the line of scrimmage. He really likes Corey Robinson, the Georgia Tech transfer, and a couple other guys. So I think that there's some confidence there that offensive line can do what he wants it to do.
We'll leave it there. Pete Nako's on 3, college sports business and transfer portal reporter, does a fantastic job. And I'm sure Shannon Terry was very happy to give him that raise just a few weeks ago. Pete, enjoy. I know that the portal season is ended, but the recruiting season is ongoing. Enjoy the rest of your summer getting ready for fall football this upcoming year, man.
Appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, that's your opening drive. It's brought to you by Farm Credit of Western Arkansas. 25 locations around our listening areas to help you with all the financing options that you should consider and look at when building a brand new home or sprucing up your existing home. So if you've got a kitchen remodel, a back deck you'd like to build, or maybe an addition to your home, talk to Farm Credit today and let them show you all the financing options they have available for you. Go to myaglender.com. That's myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal housing lender.
I don't know if this stood out to you, but I remember, I think you and I were both in the room when Sam Pittman was in the electronic media at SEC Media Days and said the minimum was a bowl game. Pete just told us more along the lines of 7 to 8 wins this year. And I know that's like, it's never like when you're.
That's Pete's opinion, and he may be spot on, but if he wins 7, I think he is certainly safe, and 6, depending on how it goes, may be safe.
It depends, and we talk about this each and every year, depending on the caliber of win, momentum, whatever, everything else. I mean, there's Ole Miss that week 3. You're going to Austin, you're going to Baton Rouge, you're going to Knoxville. You think about those games. Here's the deal: with the exception of Baton Rouge, they're all working in new quarterbacks.
Yeah,
you're probably not going to meet Nussmeier on the road, probably not, but. Arch, first year. Simmons, first year. Kid from Appalachian State that they brought in. I think it's McGuire from UCLA. Is that right, Colton?
Aguilar.
Aguilar. Thank you. Joey Aguilar.
Maybe McGuire.
Aguilar. First year. So, we'll see.
Yeah. Hey, brought to you by Andy's Frozen Custards, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. 2 locations in Conway, JFK Boulevard in North Little Rock. Guys, how about a pick 6 right now?
Woo!
6 of our favorite flavors. That'd be 2 apiece. We could chow down on some solid concretes here with all of our favorite fruits or candy bars or whatever mixed in. You can do the Pick 6 right now. Download the Andy's app in the Apple App Store, and they can place your order right there. Walk up or drive through. They're always ready to serve you at Andy's Frozen Custards, Conway, North Little Rock, and Fort Smith.
All right, when we return, we've got our hog update coming up here in just a bit. Again, congratulations to Bree Ellis. We'll get into another one of her accomplishments coming up here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Kansas like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Yesterday I said that we don't apologize here.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off, or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith, or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Valley Family Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, implants, same-day crowns, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Farmer, and now Dr. Blaine Van Nice work to give all of their patients a better life with a better smile. Valley Family Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A at the entrance to Riley Farms. Let them know you heard this on ESPN Radio and receive $300 off a snore guard. Valley Family Dental, 479-226-3500 for an appointment or visit valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
Precision Garage Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all your garage door needs, including garage door repair and new garage doors and openers. Fully licensed and insured with the largest showroom in Northwest Arkansas at 1907 Town West Drive in Rogers and in Fort Smith at 416 North 10th Street. Call Precision Garage Door today at 844-PDS-DOOR or check them out online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Financing is available. Precision Garage Door, voted best garage door company of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley.
Old Ford Days action begins Memorial Day, and the Old Ford Days official merchandise is ready for you at Jelco Outdoors. Ball caps, t-shirts, koozies, drinkware, and more. Check out the selection of cowboy hats, boots, shirts, and belts. Hot buys on Ariat and Wrangler jeans. Buy 2 pair and get a 3rd pair free. Plus a free Old Ford Days rodeo cap with purchase. Go to the Old Ford Days Rodeo in style. Check out the Old Ford Days official merchandise at Jelco Outdoors in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. Wednesday, ladies' night. I know you love Wednesdays here.
I love my Wednesdays. All the ladies come out. We have $5.99 small cheesy bread. We have pink panty droppers on special. We've got blow bombs on special. And it's all about ladies on a Wednesday here at Papa.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Since 1992, the Inn at the Mill has welcomed guests to experience the most unique place to stay when visiting Northwest Arkansas. Centrally located at the Johnson exit off I-49, the Inn at the Mill has established a rich tradition of comfort, convenience, and value. Whether it's the big game, business travel, a trip to Crystal Bridges, or a weekend getaway that brings you to Northwest Arkansas, the Inn at the Mill has a spacious room with ample space to spread out. And when I'm there on business, I appreciate the fast, free internet to keep me connected to work and the laid-back European-style breakfast to start the day. Experience unique and different at the Inn at the Mill, just off I-49 at the Johnson exit. Call 479-443-1800 to make your reservation. That's 479-443-1800 or visit innatthemill.com. The Inn at the Mill, where the past meets the present.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
There's only one Razorback.
Uncle Tommy loves the Razorbacks.
Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those.
About 107 down.
This one belongs to the Razorbacks. Ball's on the ground, picked up by Colin. Alex has got room.
Everybody, woo, big Suey. This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
Here's the best hitter in the whole country, and now they have to pitch to him. Brielis has seen 10 pitches today, and had she been carrying a toothpick, the results wouldn't have been any different. And swings away, deep left field. Her first swing is as grand as it gets.
One of her 26 home runs this season. Bree Ellis not only is named All-American, first team by D1 Baseball, also congratulations to Robin Heron, who's second team. She is your 2025 USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. That was announced in Oklahoma last night. Craziest thing. So in the press release, comes out. She basically homered 1 out of every 5 at bats.
And what happened in the Super Regional? Ole Miss didn't pitch.
Ole Miss did.
And that was the difference.
Yeah.
I mean, she was She was the reason you got to that point. She was the reason you were ranked number one at parts of the season. She was, for a lot of the season, she was the reason. What were they? The number 4 overall seed.
Mm-hmm.
She was central to all those reasons. But in the end, Ole Miss really didn't pitch to her. Took that away and only pitched when they had to. Now, I think that was one occasion, one at bat. So.
Listen to this single season where it ranks in Arkansas history: 26 homers, 72 RBIs, 68 run scores, 639 on base percentage are all single season program records. She also tied the single season SEC record with 26 bombs. Unbelievable. Could see Viva Lois. I don't remember when the Golden Spikes, when that announcement is made. He's going to be a finalist. I think right now he's just a semifinalist, but maybe I have that mixed up. But either way, we could see this announcement here in a few weeks.
Now, they have announced a semifinalist, but
not the finalist just yet, because I think it's just 3. I think it's just 3 finalists. You can vote.
Don't give me the line, but
if you want to vote for Aloy, you can do that. But yeah, an unbelievable year, and she won that award in Oklahoma last night. I know she'd like to continue on playing in Oklahoma, but unfortunately after the Ole Miss series this weekend. Arkansas football, we were talking football with Pete Nakos. They picked up another commit in the 2026 class out of Ashley Walker, who's from Hollywood, Florida. He's Arkansas's 15 commit, 6'7", 290-pound offensive lineman, has offers to Georgia, Ole Miss, Kentucky, and some other schools as well. So you've got that as far as your football program is concerned. Right now you've got I think top 20 class in college football now. Again, Arkansas's got some more commits than some other schools do, so we'll see how that shakes out. But a solid start for Sam Pittman and his crew on this class next season. I did see this, Colton. I don't know if you saw this, and Tommy, you too. This hasn't been publicly announced, but I've seen multiple reports. This Amir Brown kid from Pittsburgh, who's friends with Malik Thomas.
So it just was publicly announced, right?
Oh, it was?
Well, you're talking into a microphone to the public.
Well, no, yeah, I guess. But it's like they haven't sent an official release or anything.
Right.
But he's got Razorback basketball on his profile. He was at practice yesterday. And
formally announced. It hasn't been formally announced.
That's the proper way to say it. But I think you can infer that he's going to be one of those players on the basketball team this year that doesn't necessarily play a lot.
All the clues are lining up.
Yeah, that is
all the clues are lining up.
So, and Brandon Baker does a great job on Twitter's kind of putting guys in the slots where they were. If he's officially on the team, which again there hasn't been an official release, you've got 3 open spots remaining. Now, Aduthero has till right before 11 p.m. Central Time tonight to make a declaration if he's coming back to school, which I don't think is going to happen. But
correct me here when I'm wrong.
Not if.
You can pull your name out, come back to school, but still go back to the draft, right?
I know
is that loop still there that Isaiah Joe elected?
Richard's not going to be with us at 10 o'clock. He has a dentist appointment, but I do want to ask him that question on Friday. And it might not matter if Adu ends up just staying in the draft, but I don't know. I haven't looked at that.
I mean, we've seen. My point is, we've seen that because you pull your name back out. Now that was a different year because the draft was later, and just some different things happened because of the COVID schedule. But nonetheless, I would if he comes back, that's a big deal, and you would think that would be a solid commitment because John Calipari knows that. Man, if you pulled it back out at some point down the road, you're pretty slim on who you have to pick from at that point.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Isaiah, they close it out tonight in Oklahoma City.
I think so.
7:30 ESPN.
I kind of hope not because it gives us something else to watch later in the week.
That's a good point.
But obviously we want the Thunder to win the series.
Mm-hmm.
I just really want to be entertained.
I hope they do it in Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
but we'll see if
great.
Anthony Edwards and the guys bounce back.
I mean. I'd love to go to a finals game. I don't know if I'd pull the trigger on a $400 or $500 ticket to go, but that I don't know if the finals are on my bucket list of things to do, but I'd really like to do that.
The last time I went,
I was in the rafters. I'd love to go sit up very top and watch a finals game over there.
All right, hold that thought. That's your Hog Update, and it's brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I think I'd rather, and it's because my team's in it, but I think I'd rather do that than a Super Bowl. but a closeout game.
I would too. I don't care. I mean,
just too
Super Bowl's
corporatized.
way down the list for me of things.
Unless there was like
a
a Razorback playing quarterback or something. That's just how.
Hey, if all the rains caused you some problems on your gravel road or washed out some of your materials that you needed for a job site, call APAC and Standard Materials Group, 479-587-3300. From small-scale jobs like we just mentioned there to large-scale commercial jobs with hundreds and hundreds of yards of ready mix that needs to be brought to get foundations poured, they can do it. And I know the weather's been tough across all of our region with all the rain. Job sites are muddy, hard to put concrete down right now, pour concrete in these conditions. APAC's there and ready to do that for you. 479-587-3300 for all your rock, sand, gravel, and ready-mix needs. 479-587-3300 for APAC. It's Standard Materials Group.
Exclusive coverage at the Fayetteville Regional, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Arvest Bank, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. Or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Why do you ask questions like that? This is the Morning Rush.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser, this Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
This summer, spice up your backyard barbecues and picnic baskets with the House of Webster. From mouth-watering jams to smoky barbecue sauces and gourmet relishes, we've got the flavors that turn summer moments into lasting memories. Whether you're grilling by the lake or relaxing on the porch, the House of Webster brings a taste of tradition to every sunny day. Visit us at www.houseofwebster.com. Tradition, memories, family since 1934.
I love Jane.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Pat Social Morning Rush Daily Question.
All right, you men. I'm going to ask you a question, and I want you to answer to the best of your ability.
It's going to be a quick answer to an incredibly terrible, long question.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Check out Nate and Christian's Place in Lowell online at carpatsocial.com.
What's Your Beef Wednesday? It's also National Brisket Day. Which might be my favorite kind of sandwich, is a brisket sandwich. So, Morning Rush Daily Question. National Brisket Day, chopped or sliced, boys? And if you don't like brisket, I don't know that we can be friends. I mean, please tell me you both, are a fan of brisket.
I like chopped better. It
Chopped,
fits in the sandwich better, less
Okay.
chance of getting all that fat in there.
I like chopped on a sandwich and sliced, just laying out as a
There is
platter.
no wrong answer to this, by the way. But I did not know till I was looking during the break, and it is National Brisket Day. And I like it when you go to your a good barbecue house. Do you want it a little drier, a little leaner, or you want it wet? Because I kind of like it on more the wet end of the brisket.
Ryan and Prairie Grove and Tyler and Winslow both say sliced.
Yeah,
Here on
sliced all the
Lewis
way. I love brisket. I like BE's answer. I just love brisket. Sliced, of course, like you said, is Ryan's response.
Brisket, let me tell you, let me put it this way. Brisket is the barbecue I get with my father, and if someone else is paying for it, and then I get something lesser if
you go pulled pork, if old Ty's paying for it.
If I'm paying for it.
Brisket has gotten expensive.
Caleb says that the Bucky sliced brisket sandwiches are the best. I have had one of those. Cliff says
I don't know if they're the best. They are a good gas station barbecue sandwich.
Lee in Springdale, I'd say sliced. He prefers the pulled pork on a sandwich.
Prefers pulled, but that wasn't the question though. Smoking Willie's in Greenland has some good sliced brisket. I don't know where Smoking Willie's is. Must not be right off the interstate at the Greenland exit.
How many times do you? Have you read?
I will just cook it in the air fryer. That's good. That's
Thank
right.
you, Shane. No, I've learned my lesson after some debacles, and now I have a grill, so I can't really. I don't have an excuse anymore. I can utilize that outside. But again, sliced on a platter, chopped on a sandwich.
I think I go sliced the whole way.
Okay.
Sliced, piled high, about third to half a pound on there. Good, thick slices. It's my favorite thing to actually cook and put on the smoker, and particularly if I'm doing my stick burner.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a process. If you get a good 20-pound packer, a big full, and then you're going to separate the point and the flat, make some burn ends. I mean, you've got a 15-hour investment of your time. That's why brisket's so expensive. There's a lot of time and a lot of love that goes into making a brisket.
All right, that is your Cart Pass Social Morning Rush Daily Question. Here in just a few weeks, June 12th through the 14th, they'll be celebrating their 1-year anniversary at Cart Pass Social. 122 Grant Place in Lowell, right across from the Atwoods. Want to stop by and see Christian Nate. It's an awesome facility, over 1,000 different golf courses. And again, they've got a bunch of things that they're getting excited for in this 1-year anniversary. Go to cartpasssocial.com. It's always BYOB at Cart Pass Social. You book per bay. You don't book per person. You book per bay, which is a great element to Cart Pass Social. The number one.
Means if you go by yourself, you can get more swings in.
Yes.
Yeah.
And 18 there takes about an hour and a half. So if you're really trying to get 18 in, you go by yourself, hour and a half, get in, get out, and your missus is not yelling at you for staying out 5 or 6 hours. That's cartpasssocial.com, number one indoor golf facility in all of Arkansas.
Bet Saracen app up and in my hand. The Arkansas Razorbacks, the 3 seed in the NCAA tournament, minus 3,000 this morning against the North Dakota State Bison. Bison, you could take them for plus 1,100. I don't think that'll get a lot of love here in the Natural State. We were talking about the NBA playoffs earlier. T-Wolves right now are catching 8.5 in Oklahoma City against the Thunder. That game is tonight at 7:30. Pacers and Knicks tomorrow. Knicks are favored by 4.5. So go to Bet Saracen for that. 8.5. You like the Thunder by 8.5?
I don't like the Thunder to cover, but
I don't either.
I like them to win.
I'd have to go T-Wolves and the points.
Yeah, that seems a little close. Well,
minus 350 if you want to go money line.
Yeah, I know we were talking with Bruce Stanley about that a little bit. So last night, Pacers, Knicks, Pacers ended up getting a dub, but the maybe a beef of Colton's this morning was the intro from Pat McAfee courtside. Take a listen.
Indianapolis, Indiana. We got some big wigs from the big city in the building. Spike Lee is here. Ben Stiller is here. Timothy Chalamet is here. Let's send these sons of back to New York with their ears. Let's turn this.
Oh, man. What's the best Ben Stiller movie? Have you seen one lately?
Oh, I still go back to Meet the Fockers. There are so many good points in that movie.
About in-laws?
Huh?
About in-laws?
Well, I mean, it's so well written. I mean, the part at the dinner table where they say, he starts to eat and then, the father-in-law, why am I drawing a blank on... It's not Pacino.
It's De Niro.
De Niro. I wanted to say Pacino. And I couldn't say the word because I knew it was wrong. De Niro says, as in the character Greg Fokker, as he's eating the first bite, Greg, would you like to bless our meal? And I've always tried to pull that on the son-in-law or someone at the time. That was just a laugh out loud moment. That's probably my favorite Ben Stiller movie.
That's a good one. I was partial because I was a kid at night in the museum. I know
that's a good one too.
There's like Zoolander and some other good ones, but as they kind of went through that, I'm gonna guess that your daughter has told you about Timothy Chalamet, who's like the heartthrob right now.
I've heard that uttered around our house. To say I know, you'd have to educate me.
No. All right, so one.
Tell me more, Ty. Please tell me more.
He's just like the teen heartthrob right now. That's
probably taking your spot.
Yeah, huh? I guess.
Yeah.
Indiana wins 130-121. Your Knicks come back tomorrow night, Colton, to at least get it to Game 6.
No, Ty, it's over. It's never been more over than it is right now.
What is you had a good beef this morning just with your teams in general.
My beef is with everybody that's ever had an influence on my favorite team. So that we'll start with just my NFL team, which is just myself stumbling upon America's Game on NFL Network and just picking a team. That's on me. I'll take the blame for that. Okay? The Knicks is because of my friend Tyler Pettit. I used to beat him in NBA 2K13 with Carmelo Anthony and Jason Kidd when he was the Heat. He was playing with the best player of all time, LeBron James. And anyway,
he'll be telling lies in that microphone.
And so that impacted my favorite teams, and they're all just going to lose. Every team I've ever picked has been a loser. Brad Pitt, Moneyball, thought the A's were going to be good forever. They sucked. They've always sucked as long as I've been alive. Not even playing Oakland anymore. My beef.
You need to quit using video games and TV to pick your teams.
Well, I was a kid.
Get in and read a magazine.
I was a
kid. Get you some trading cards.
Do the old-fashioned thing.
Get you some trading cards and put one in a spoke in your bicycle.
Thousands of trading cards. And My beef is just I'll never pick a winning team. So
it's a shame. It is odd that
to not even mention the Razorbacks.
You mentioned that, the dynamics within your family. So my dad and my uncle, I think, are the only two it's not like my dad cheers against the Razorbacks, but there's like 5 generations of Razorbacks in my family. And I think they're the only two to either not attend or be like incredible fans of the university. I think so. And we know that Brian in Ozark has like given up his fandom for Arkansas and gone to Texas. But I feel like that once you like live here and become a fan, you just don't give it up, despite how much pain it may cause you over the history of your lifetime. You're just there.
What is your beef today? It's What's Your Beef Wednesday. We're talking brisket a minute ago. Colton's all hacked off because his teams aren't playing well. Hey, from the sizzle of steaks to bacon wrap fillets to gourmet burgers and fresh kebabs, you'll find it all at Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Ready to grill orders that you can get, like the kebabs, like the gourmet beef patties, the quarter-pound beef franks. Always, you need 6. You always order 8, and that way, the grill master's got a little snack out there on the grill as well. Plus, you can get their great sides that go along with everything. The homemade sides like their potato salad, which is awesome, the mac and cheese, even desserts like their sweet apple pie as well. Richard's Country Meat Market, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville. Order online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Todd will take it anyway. Chopped, slopped, diced. He doesn't care. That is
sauced.
Sauced.
Yeah, good brisket doesn't need sauce. Doesn't need a lot of seasoning either. Salt, pepper, a little garlic. That's all you put on it. That's all you need to put on a brisket.
Mm-hmm. So we're right. You brought up the odds for this weekend in baseball in North Dakota State just to set up. We talked about it, and I had forgotten an important detail. You remember last year? What was I on heading into postseason? 64, 94, 2024.
Yeah.
The detail is this.
Oh, a new detail.
Are you ready?
Hang on.
Is there a
You ready?
loophole?
There's a loophole.
Let's all come closer to the radio.
This is a fireside chat like FDR used to do about it back in the day.
Much like it.
I and FDR.
Yeah.
COVID threw everything off a year. There was not a 2020 season. He's leaving the studio. So that analogy, that thought process laid out was incorrect only due to the fact that they did not participate. So
due to the fact you can't do math. Okay.
Yeah. I had forgotten about the 2020 season that never was. Dave had a stacked team that year, by the way. That was Heston's last year. They were loaded. So if you want to look at it from the positive standpoint, the positive point of view this morning, I know there's some pessimism when it comes to what's going to happen this week. Maybe I'm just scared, a little nervous, everything else. But
why would anyone be scared? Just because of recent history? Just because of the way? Yeah, Kansas State. It was a little painful last year watching a regional. Well, hearing reports of a regional final. I didn't go watch, and nobody's in that stadium. You're not even in the regional final. I mean, it was a little sad last year, but that was last year.
It's hard for everything you said yesterday about that is accurate, but it's still hard for people because of all the turnover and everything else. But it's what we've seen the most recently in postseason, with the exception of obviously what happened in Hoover. We are going to be at the Stadium Shop on Friday. Excited about that. Little morning rush, halftime, Arkansas game day action. I know Rosbert, Elizabeth, and Matthew have everything there, and it's 200 yards from the stadium, if that.
Yep, and we got all of our coverage of the NCAA Regional in Fayetteville, brought to you by the Stadium Shop and by Arvest Bank and by Shelter Insurance Agent Chris Dooley in Fort Smith as well. We'll have complete coverage of the regional all throughout the week. Hey, if you're needing a new fence but not ready to pay for it all at once, the Fence Man, serving Fort Smith for over 40 years, offers 18-month financing. You can secure your home or your office and your business with a brand new fence and pay over time as well. For a free quote, a custom design, and the expertise to accomplish what most can't, call the Fence Man, 782-3936, or go to thefencemanar.com. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
My dad just texted me that he pulls for Arkansas, but they can't beat Baylor. Well, in basketball, that unfortunately is true. Yeah. Hour 2 coming up next. It's a What's Your Beef Wednesday.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
There's big news in the mobile sports betting business. Bet Saracen was just named the 15th largest sports book in America. That's because Arkansans like to do business with a winner. Find all your winners on Bet Saracen. Download it today and look for my RR prop bet specials. I pick them, you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com or call 479-782-3936. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
Largemouth bass will be spawning soon at ponds and lakes all over Arkansas and Oklahoma. One of the best lures to catch them on at this time is the famous Yum Dinger. We make them by the truckloads in Fort Smith in 3, 4, 5, and 6 inch sizes, and they are in tackle boxes of bass anglers all over the U.S. and all over the world. Wacky rigging the 5-inch model can't be beat for spawning bass. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Yum Dinger.
Mega Millions now has better odds, bigger prizes, and the highest starting jackpot in America. Top prizes start at $50 million and increase rapidly until someone wins. What else is new? How about no more break-even prizes? Win anywhere from 2 to 10 times your bet. And the multiplier? It's no longer an add-on. Mega Millions is always $5 per play, bells and whistles included. Play today in stores or on the go. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for problem gambling helpline.
This is The Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, where all we do is keep you rolling. If you're looking for the best used car your money can buy, check out our great selection of road-ready certified vehicles with warranty. If you're trading or selling your car, let us give you a free second opinion and leave with a check in your hand. If you're keeping the car you have, let us take care of it for you in the Meineke Car Care Center. Plus, follow us on Facebook for special offers and fun contests. All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, Fort Smith.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Budweiser, the American lager. A time-honored recipe, true to our original process, brewed using the choicest hops, rice, and best barley malt, delivering great quality beer since 1876. Budweiser. This Bud's for you. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2024 Anheuser-Busch Budweiser Lager Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
I have enough trouble deciding what's for lunch. Imagine how stressed I was during the home buying process. Thankfully, Jeff Marks at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, took the reins.
That's right, Ty. Buying or selling a home is the biggest financial decision you'll ever make. I have years of experience and proven expertise that help guide you through the process.
All my female friends love my house. I'm not kidding either.
Trust me like Ty did to guide you through every step of the way. Call me, Jeff Marks, at 479-414-1193. Big decisions, simple solutions.
Do you need closure on your garage? Call Grit Garage Doors. Whether it's a new door, a squeaky closing sound, a broken spring, or just off track, Grit is who you can trust. With an unheard of 15-year spring warranty option, Grit is the team you can trust. Call Grit. There's no door Grit can't close. Local team, local service with honesty and integrity. Call Grit Garage Doors. 479-430-3667. That's 479-430-DOOR.
Is your DIY website killing your business and robbing your time? Modular Orange specializes in building professional custom websites for service businesses just like yours for just $95 a month. That's right, a high-performance website for only $95 a month with no upfront costs. There's a reason. Lawyers, dentists, accountants, counselors, plumbers, electricians, and more all trust Modular Orange to build their online presence. Take your time back to focus on what you do best. Let the professionals at Modular Orange handle your website. Visit modularorange.com today. That's modularorange.com.
Spring has arrived, bringing warmer days, road trips, and unpredictable spring showers. That's why it's the perfect time to visit Southern Tire Mart. From top quality tires to expert service at competitive prices, we'll make sure your vehicle is ready for all your spring adventures. Visit our Fort Smith location at 9700 Highway 271 and let us prepare your ride for whatever the season brings. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. Southern Tire Mart, we keep America rolling.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, partly sunny skies. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the mid to upper 70s. We'll see showers and a chance of some storms tonight. An overnight low will drop down upper 50s to low 60s. Showers with a few thunderstorms on Thursday, a high in the low 70s north, upper 70s south. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Cop CDL Academy. Call them today at 479-632-1050. Cop CDL Academy, expanding horizons.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 94 days. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
Last year, I don't even think you came by. That's not true. I always come by. Our SID's always like, you don't need to do Feinbaum. Nobody even watches his show anymore.
I don't need lectures from others about good of the game. I don't lecture others about good of the game.
I appreciate all your questioning of it, and it just gives me a little extra. Yeah, no, I'm glad you missed an earlier interview I did on ESPN because I didn't miss it. I didn't miss it. Okay. What fans actually really do like you? I mean, I like you, but what fan base is like, they love Paul Feinbaum? Bama? Okay. That was kind of a Saban thing because I got in on early on the Saban train, but I'm not sure I've got a seat on the next train.
Yesterday I said that we don't apologize here.
Tells us what's your beef.
Live from the Busch Light Studios, this is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
All right, so you heard some clips from the SEC spring meetings. Paul Feinbaum, Lane Kiffin, Kirby Smart, Greg Sankey. Going to hear from John Calipari coming up in just a bit. But I guess as we start this out, Richard Davenport usually joins us. He's going to be with us on Friday. He had an appointment he had to get to today, dentist appointment, so he's going to be with us in the 10 o'clock hour on Friday.
I had the old teeth cleaning yesterday myself.
How'd it go?
That's fine. No cavities.
Good job.
No big tartar buildup.
I have that.
They'd like me to floss more, but
how many times? So I brush my teeth 2 or 3 times a day, 3 times if I go home for lunch. I do the floss picks, and then I do the spray stuff.
You're way ahead of me.
Way ahead of you.
Way ahead of me.
My dad was so my nephew has braces. I saw him on Monday, and Dad reminded me that braces were not covered by insurance.
No. My day's coming soon.
You probably
You
probably have to do that.
And maybe that's a beef today. What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Curbside pickup is available. That makes shopping easy. Call ahead at 479-443-0000. They'll have it all packaged and ready to go for you, whether it's hand-cut steaks, gourmet burgers, grill-ready kebabs, or any of their great sides, including their potato salad, their mac and cheese. They got a long list of great house-made sides they do as well. Go to richardscountrymeatmarket.com, see it all there. Stop in and see them for yourself, 3042 North Market Avenue in Fayetteville. That's Richards Country Meat Market.
This might be my oldest beef man take to date. I find myself not having enough hours in the day to get stuff done. I know you felt that for years.
Yeah.
But as I grow and we're trying to do a bunch of things at work and everything else.
I mean, you just talked about going home for lunch, brushing your teeth 3 times a day, flossing daily, water pick. No wonder you have no time. You spend it all, manicuring your teeth. So
Oh, my dad's like, I'm glad we did that smile. That's the one of the few attributes that I'm actually confident in and proud of is my teeth. But it is something like what's the old adage, like the 24 hours, like everyone has 24 hours and whatever.
Yeah.
And
we all have 24 hours in the day. It's how you spend it.
Yeah, I've got to get 6 hours of sleep. Coffee has helped.
And you really need more than 6, right?
You're supposed to get 8,
8 to 10.
That is my, I think my oldest man beef to date is that there's not enough hours in the day to get what you need to accomplish on a daily basis.
Just wait till you get older.
And you have kids,
more responsibilities,
grandkids, and
more
more
things, people, and places pulling at your time. Yeah,
and we're not.
It's not going to get any better.
And we're not in Destin this morning, like Greg Sankey and everything else. Listening to so, what is important to you as a fan? Lewis Automotive Group hotline open 877-377-6963. A couple of things on the table this week. 9-game SEC schedule. I don't think any Arkansas fan actually wants that. You struggle with an 8-game. I don't think it helps anyone if you get to a 9-game. Yes, there's more captivating games, more excitement. I don't think Arkansas would be better off that they went to a 9-game. Having more games, the SEC Conference Championship weekend. Not just 1v2, but how about 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5? Like that type of setup, that type of scenario in Atlanta, Georgia. That's something that apparently is being talked about this week. You brought up the revenue distribution. We had Pete Nakos on earlier, and you asked him about it. Here's what Pete said.
I think there's an opportunity for parity. I'm skeptical we're going to see any of that in 2025 because so many programs front-loaded, NIL contracts the last 6 months before revenue sharing kicked in. So I don't think the parity that revenue sharing could bring is going to happen this fall.
And we've talked about it, but it hasn't come down the pipe just yet, Tommy. It's not official. I mean, they're still, I guess, working through it. The judge, and I don't know the proper term, how you say it, but they not the stamp of approval. That's the very basic way. Signed off on it and everything else. But those are a few things. What else? There's something I'm missing that you're intrigued by, but maybe it's being talked about this week in Destin outside of just.
I just don't know what ultimate voting power this body really has to really shape college athletics. I mean, there are some things with the portal periods. There are some things the coaches can weigh in on. But I mean, those aren't going to be the things that chart the course of this new river.
Should be 2 or 1.
We talk. Remember your history when they had the earthquake in the 1800s over along the Mississippi River, and it flowed backwards for a few days and it reshaped the river. Remember that from history class?
Oh, I thought that was rhetorical. Yeah.
No, with you, it's never rhetorical. I mean, do you remember that from Arkansas history class? I mean, that's where we're at in this sport. We have had a massive earthquake
with you,
and it has made the Mississippi River flow backwards in college sports. That is kind of where we're. I mean, you think about where we're at in the future of this sport and recharting it. These last 3, 4, 5 years, and where we're at right now, are seismic in what we're doing. So this revenue sharing, and when it finally clears the courts, will, I think, maybe settle the waters a little bit so that leagues like the SEC can go to places that are posh, like Destin, and figure out how they're going to trim another $7 or $8 million from their budgets.
I was going to say, do you think they're staying in the Best Western?
No, they probably should, since $20 million is going to the athletes now. And they're, who was it yesterday? We were talking about trimming Oklahoma, I think it was.
$2 million.
Trimming back 5% off of the labor and overhead.
I think slicing salaries and then also
got to do that.
People.
You'll have to do that because you got a $25 million gap, 20 to the athletes roughly, and another 3 or 4 to scholarships, which I don't know. That's really like taking money out of one pocket, putting it in the other. I mean, you're spending it with your own university, but it's on your books. It goes against your P&L as the athletic department. So how do you make up for that? Can you raise another $10 million? Can you slice another 15 off your expenses? I mean, those are the hard questions that Hunter Yurchek and the senior staff are having to figure out. And that's probably some of the things being discussed privately in Destin is, hey, what are y'all doing that you find that works? And sharing best practices and really coming up with ideas on, maybe what works at one place could work at the other, and how you can centralize services with the league office to save everyone money.
Well, we here in the SEC do not apologize, according to the commissioner.
Yesterday I said that we don't apologize here. I'm proud we have 13 games. I wish it was 14. in baseball. I'm proud of what we did in men's basketball. I'm proud that we have, I think it's 5 of 8. Is it 5 of 8 in softball? I actually think that can make other people better too.
Is there anything that the SEC needs to take from other leagues? I feel like oftentimes the other leagues take from the Southeastern Conference and follow suit on what the SEC does. The one example I would say is the SEC, late Mike Slive waited on the network. Big Ten did it first. And there's more.
You don't have to be first.
Yep. They kind of saw kinks and stuff, and the SEC has been the network has been successful since launch, and I forget if it was 2013 or 2014. It's when I was in college. But is there anything that the SEC needs to take a step back and look at either the Big Ten or obviously not the Pac-12 anymore, but other conferences that?
No, I think the SEC is the leader, and just because you weren't first with your network doesn't mean you're not doing it right. I think that was a very prudent move to let them make the mistakes. But if I was going to do anything with the SEC network, it would be add additional alternate channels that they've gotten rid of, so that
Tommy's at
you
the
don't
podium.
have to have this log on to streaming, which I know they want because that's the way it's all going, because it's more easily measured. But in linear TV's going away, I get it. But I'm an old man. I don't want to have to get on my tablet to figure out where the game's at. When the Alabama, Tulane game goes long and Arkansas and somebody else is starting late, or starting on time but on a different channel. So
does anyone prefer streaming of any age? I don't think I've talked to a single person that they're like, I'd rather this be on the SEC Network Plus.
No one prefers it. No, but I think as we get, if you have Net or YouTube TV or Hulu or something like that, you're already streaming, right? Technically, it's streaming TV.
Yeah, Fubo.
Those kind of services. So why can't we just include those channels on? Why can't there be an Arkansas channel where the Arkansas game's always going to be whatever it is? Yeah, I don't know.
That's a beef.
So, that's a bigger beef for someone else to figure out, but they could make this easier on the consumer. Because why is all this created? It's for you, it's for me, it's for us as fans to consume. How does all this money arrive in Destin to be cut up at some point later in the year on league distributions and what the schools take in? It's because of we the fans.
Yeah.
So why they don't go overboard to make it more convenient, easy for the fans is still something that's puzzling, because any business model, you would be finding solutions to make it easier on your customer.
877-377-6963 is the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Jerry and Alma, home of the Airedales, is consuming us this morning. Jerry, what are your thoughts here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday?
Jerry.
You had the mad icon there, Colton, so I was kind of...
He was there and he called back because he had bad Bluetooth, but he had beef with
bad
Ruskin.
Bluetooth?
He had bad Bluetooth connection is what he said. So hopefully he calls back because he had...
Well, then put it on iPhone.
He said he had beef with the afternoon crew. And
Okay.
that's all I let him get to. I
Well,
wanted them to say
once a month, one of us amongst us here is part of
Probably-
the afternoon crew this week.
It's probably something
Jerry's
I
never
said.
called in to complain until after yesterday's show.
There's some constant there. Let's see if we can figure it out during the break.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what that
Hey,
was.
Fayetteville Regional's underway this week. We've got live coverage all week long. We'll be at the Stadium Shop on Friday with the morning rush and halftime. Be sure and get by the Stadium Shop. They'll have everything for Razorback Regional tees, jerseys, bases loaded hats, and more. It's all at the Stadium Shop. Shop on Razorback.com. By Arvest Bank. Since 1961, Arvest Bank has been committed to its local communities. Arvest is ready to help. Equal housing lender, member FDIC. And by our buddy Chris Dooley with Shelter Insurance. If you're in the Fort Smith or surrounding areas, he can help you make sure you get the right coverage for the right price. Call Chris Dooley now, 646-6792, or email him, cdooley, that's DOOLY, at shelterinsurance.com.
All right, so we were talking about braces earlier. Baylor Brad texting in, braces were covered, just not the whole amount, up to $2,000. Are you about to go through that with your kids? It seemed like that struck a
We
nerve.
have been, in fact, one goes to the dentist today at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
The other went a week or two ago, and we are still, even at with the daughter, even at 13, still have 2 more teeth that got to come in. So, we're going to wait for it to get a little bit more expensive before we do it. So, got to get a couple baby teeth still
They
out
had to
there.
get like I had braces as well. I had to get the expander to change the shape of the roof of my mouth, and that was miserable
fun.
because you have to like go in there and crank it to turn a key. It was It was not very fun, and I neglected to wear my retainer. So the money that my parents spent,
lose a retainer sometimes. See how that goes with mom and dad.
Yeah. That costs a pretty penny.
Just wait till they threaten you with just threaten your kids that, hey, you're gonna have to wear that headgear to school if you don't put that retainer in.
You brought up our coverage this weekend. Friday, hopefully, and absolutely on Saturday, hopefully on Sunday as well. Arkansas playing in Bob Walker Stadium this weekend. You brought up earlier, it was kind of weird, the Sunday game last year that Arkansas wasn't featured, which was just, I think, painful for all of us. I think a beef of yours has been this week, and I think some cases you're right, in some cases I would disagree with you, is the looking back on the last two seasons. If I'm going to come from the positive standpoint of this year's squad, now record-wise, they're pretty even for what they've been the last 2 years. But this team, again, broke the record in 2021 of home runs. Again, if I'm looking from a positive standpoint this morning, you've got, while you don't have an ace, you do have a really deep pitching staff. You don't have necessarily the best starters that Dave Van Horn. I think he would tell you that. He does not have he didn't even, I don't even know if he I say that. He knows who he's going to start. We don't know because he's waiting on that. What else am I missing in terms of maybe how this team is different from last year comparatively to?
I think they're better up down the lineup than any of the last three teams or last few teams, 1 through 9. There's a threat basically in every inning for someone to go yard.
It's a really
There's a threat for a 2-out hit. There is a threat in every part of the lineup. So where's the soft spot in this lineup? So I think that's different than the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, there was a really good, a lot of times, infielder, outfielder that couldn't hit. And then you look at this line. I don't know what the lowest guy's
better
batting
be fast
is.
if you can hit in the outfield. You better be real fast.
Like Ruskin looked it up yesterday. Like Justin Thomas in like 317 in SEC play.
Yeah.
And at one point he was one of the lower batting averages.
Look at a guy like Kendall Diggs. Can't even get a spot very frequently in the lineup. It's been more than a month since he's played. He was a mainstay in the lineup. Can't get in. And the last time I saw him bat, I think they were playing maybe Little Rock midweek, if I remember right. And he was batting sub 200. So, and my point, and I'm not saying that to spotlight Kendall Diggs' numbers. I'm saying it he was someone you really depended on last couple of years, right? Mm-hmm. And I don't know what's happened with his game, or is it just the fact that you've upgraded so much, a guy that was as good as Kendall Diggs can't get in the lineup? I don't know, necessarily which it is, but, I think this team's better top to bottom. Now, at the same time, how many other teams in the SEC can we say that same thing about? And I think 13. The SEC is getting ready to dominate the College World Series in the number of teams that are there.
It would be odd to see, and I say odd, the SEC baseball has been dominant the last decade and a half or so. Football has too. You just didn't win the national championships the last 2 years. Would be interesting to have basketball, of course, finally win. Florida wins for the first time since 2012, since Kentucky won it. And then this baseball, they keep it on. The only championship you might not win of the three majors is football. And I think if you bet on that before the season, which team or which sport do you not win in the SEC? I think everyone would have said football, and it just didn't play out this year.
Hey, we were talking about brisket earlier. Made me think about Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. They have got a new, now hear me out on this. It's going to be a little bit different, but I think it's probably worth trying. It's the Pimento Pitmaster. They take their piled high smoked brisket sandwich and then put a nice thick layer of creamy house-made pimento cheese and then finish it with crunchy, crispy fried onions on a toasted bun. I think that's worth a try. National Brisket Day. Get the Pimento Pitmaster at Art's Barbecue, Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith. Get a side of that to go with it. I'd probably do the onion rings because those are made in the house as well. They're hand-cut fries. They're mac and cheese. Any of it would go great. It's a smoked brisket sandwich piled high, smothered in creamy pimento cheese. Find it now. It's the Pimento Pitmaster, just $13.99 with a side of your choice. Art's Barbecue on Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
Brad texted in here on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline saying with Kendall Diggs, it's a combination of him struggling a little bit this season and them upgrading as well. So that's, I think, a point that people resonate. And you're not trying to spotlight Kendall.
No, but I'm just saying, I think the talent
you're highlighting.
Right.
You're highlighting other areas.
I think Kendall's a good player. that can't get on the field very often in this lineup.
And he's been amazing.
And Aloy at DH has closed that off. Not even a spot there. And his batting this year, sub 200, is not going to put him in that spot. But I mean, I use that as an example of how this team is better than last year's team.
I think that's a fair one. All right, when we come back, we've talked about the SEC spring meetings a little bit. You've heard from Greg Sankey and some other coaches. We're also going to hear from John Calipari. Tonight, around 11 o'clock, Adu Thero, if he elects to come back to campus, has to make that decision and declare it if he's coming back to Arkansas. So we'll get into that and some other stuff from the spring meetings coming up in just one bit.
NBA tonight, Thunder try to clinch. You can go to the Oaklawn Sports app, get all the odds and numbers there for that, plus college baseball's postseason. It's all there. Hockey and the Stanley Cup, whatever your sport, whatever your pleasure, it's there. Plus, as a new customer with the Oaklawn Sports app, you get $1,000 in bonus bets, a free bet up to $100 if your first bet of the day doesn't work out each of the first 10 days. Plus, they have a parlay boost where you can get your three-leg parlays with odds of at least plus 1,000 increased by 10% right now with Oaklawn Sports. Bet with a brand you trust anywhere in Arkansas. Bet with Oaklawn Sports.
Also, Florida is getting a key piece back to their basketball team. We'll tell you who it is next.
What's Your Beef Wednesday is brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money, so he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
An abundance of knowledge.
I try and avoid medicine most of the time.
This is the Morning Rush.
Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, the paint store, Van Buren.
Hey, Ty Richardson at my favorite place, Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, 508 Garrison Avenue. And Cricket, we always talk about specials. You know Thursday is my personal favorite night. We're here every Thursday. Bucket special, hard to beat.
You gotta love the bucket special. I mean, you come in, you can get 5 domestic bottles in a bucket for $15, and then you get to hang out at Papa's. It's a great deal.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world. Cricket, what do you think about Papa's Pub and Pizzeria?
I think it's the best darn pizza in Fort Smith and perhaps the world.
Forsgren is hiring immediately. Forsgren Incorporated, a heritage company and premier employer, is now hiring equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Have experience in any of these areas? Apply now at goforsgren.com. Don't delay. Forsgren is hiring now at goforsgren.com. Don't miss your opportunity to join the Forsgren legacy. Forsgren has immediate openings for equipment operators, pipe layers, concrete finishers, and laborers. Apply now at goforsgren.com. Forsgren Incorporated is an equal opportunity employer.
When your carpets, upholstery, and floors look dirty and stained, call your local Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Service Master Clean is an industry leader and can remove the toughest stains from your home or office. And they back their work with a satisfaction guarantee. Eliminate dirt and grime from your carpet, hardwood, tile, and laminate floors. Call your local Service Master Clean, 479-646-4087. That's 646-4087 or online at servicemasterpc.com.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
The SEC is the best conference in America.
The tough will survive in this game, and I feel like the SEC is the toughest.
Arkansas is the SEC champion.
You know, every game is a dogfight.
We're about the toughest there is. Week in and week out, you're going to play some of the best, the biggest, the fastest.
The Hawks have finally climbed the hill. It's the first SEC tournament championship for Arkansas.
Where opponents' dreams come to die.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
I don't think you worry about, and I never have, all the outside clutter, bad or good. It's, what do we think? And when we get together and we start, I'm going to have a better idea. Right now, I like the mix of players. I like the young kids. I like the vets. I like the returning players. Let's see if we can become that team. By the end of last year, we were one of the best teams in the country. And when we were 0-5, our only goal, let's be the most improved team in the country. We're 0-5. We know where we are. Let's be the most improved team in the country. And by the end, if we'd have gotten by that, and even if we didn't, I'd still say we would be one of the most improved teams in the country. I thought we were.
I think that Tech loss is still on John Calipari's mind. That's him in SEC spring meetings. Not only are football coaches down there, you've got a large collection of athletics department members that are in. Is it Destin or Sandestin?
Technically Sandestin, I believe.
Okay.
Out at Hilton.
I get them mixed up. Either way,
on the east side of town there on 98.
Talking about the roster, it looks like Arkansas added another player, Amir Brown, from the Pittsburgh area.
You got schools cutting salaries and laying people off, but they're having their meeting in Destin. Welcome to college athletics. They're having a meeting that you don't even have to have in Destin. As people are losing their jobs in athletic departments around the conference. Oklahoma laying off, 5%? Cutting salaries back 5%?
You and I
We're going to meet in Destin.
Both hate Zoom. We hate Zoom, right? You don't like Zoom. Colton, do you like Zoom?
You'd rather meet in person?
I don't really like meetings. I'm not a big fan of meetings.
But in this case, to be financially responsible,
right?
That might be the way to go, right? To save umpteen thousands of dollars.
I don't know what a room cost at the Hilton in Destin, but I'm going to guess $500-600 a night this time of the year.
And they're not shacking up together either.
It is May the 28th, folks. We are in the summer season. Yeah, I don't imagine Sam Pittman and Hunter Yurachek are going twinsies in that room. They're not splitting a room with two beds.
And that's not just the Arkansas athletics.
No, I'm talking about the league as a whole. This isn't a shot at Arkansas in any way. I'm just talking about you've got schools talking about cutting expenses and laying people off and doing what they got to do, which is the right business move. But yet we're having our business meeting. We're having our annual meeting in Destin, Florida.
There's some irony there, folks.
Well, the hypocrisy is what I would call it. Might be a better word than irony, but anyway.
Continuing on here, your SEC update. Bree Ellis, literally.
Destin, because the venue at Palm Springs, California was already booked, according to B in Clarksville on the Lewis Automotive Group hotline. Yeah.
And I guess
Taj Mahal was busy this week.
They want to stay within the SEC footprint.
Right.
They're going to Dubai
right.
next SEC spring meetings. In the time that we mentioned Bree Ellis winning another award, she's added to her list. Just now named D1 Softball's Player of the Year, in addition to being an All-American and winning the 2025 USA Softball Collegiate Player of the Year last night. So keeps adding to the.
Hey, she's had as good a year as anyone on campus. As good an individual year as, and that includes a national champion in golf. That she's had as good an individual year as anybody up there.
They that she's gonna do those trophies. Do they stay on campus or do they?
There's usually replicas or multiple.
Okay.
I hate to use the word copies, but that's what it is. There's copies of these type of trophies.
Okay. I was just kind of curious about that. Mentioned this earlier. Florida got a big addition for their basketball team. Alex Condon's coming back. He's withdrawn from the NBA draft, according to ESPN. He was a part of this national championship team. So not only are you going to have to deal with Boogie Flan, but you're also going to have to deal with Alex Condon if you play the Gators. I'm excited for when we get the release of the Arkansas basketball schedule. You got Baylor at home, who, according to my dad, Arkansas can't beat. And that's actually proof. Unfortunately, the last 3 times you played the Bears. I think 4, actually. You've got the game in Chicago against Duke. You get UNC in the ACC SEC Challenge?
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
Be awesome.
If you're not playing Duke, obviously, because you're playing them elsewhere.
If North Carolina,
if it's not North Carolina, who else?
Who else is in the ACC? I'll tell you one that's underrated. Get Will Wade's butt in here in NC State.
Okay.
When we talked a week and a half or 2 weeks ago,
Miami last year, right? Trip down there.
Yeah, we went to Miami.
Not doing that.
We talked to.
Who would you like to see come in here?
North Carolina, then NC State.
I think it will be
Stanford. They're in the ACC.
Yeah,
I forget that they're.
God almighty. You're right.
I would say I don't remember if Johnny.
Isn't SMU in there too?
Cal as well.
Yeah. We won't get stuck with that.
Andy
I think you're right. It'll be
Enfield,
North Carolina.
Andy Enfield, the domino effect that
Cal versus North Carolina. I mean, ESPN will want that.
Mm-hmm. I would be. I listen. That's the one you want. But
so who does Alabama play? Duke. Who does Florida play?
Or Kentucky?
Yeah.
Duke. I mean, you say Arkansas this because of the Cal deal, but
they might pair Florida with UNC. I mean, the ACC is so down. Like in the Big Ten,
would you pair Florida with Florida State just for the?
I think they already played a non-con game.
Okay, so
already.
That's out.
So that's probably out.
Miami, they play them. I don't know what they do in basketball, but I don't think this isn't football. It doesn't. We're not. This isn't wide right. So we're.
I hope.
It's about weeknight television ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Weekday, weeknight television ratings.
So you got 3 roster spots remaining right now. If Amir Brown, which it has not been sent by the university that he's been signed or anything, but I think based on his profile, based on things that you've seen, it's being reported. You can assume that's the case. Don't know about Edu Thero just yet. We did have Isaac Trotter of CBS Sports on last week. Here's what he said about former Razorback and could be current Razorback that's going through this process.
I talked with him yesterday, and to be honest, full transparency, there's a bunch of guys in the room, and I'm like, I guess I have to go talk to him. I kind of assumed that he was fully in. We hadn't really heard that he could potentially want to come back to college, and so if I had to pick right now, I do think the NBA draft is the most likely thing. But to be honest, that quote from him was a little bit of an eyebrow raiser. I was surprised that his camp said they want to hear more, but you know what? You kind of put 2 and 2 together. It does make sense.
It's not all the way close, but being that we're in the last few hours before he has to make a decision, I guess in 12 hours and 27 minutes, he'll have to have a decision by then. I'm going to guess that he stays in that process, and I hope that you talk about a play. You talk about anyone on this roster. He was the most consistent player. Go watch him at Kentucky last year or 2 years ago versus what he did at Arkansas last year. You don't even recognize the player.
Do you have his tweets on notification right now? Is it going to pop up on your phone when when he tweets out his next thought.
I probably need to. But, I mean, I'm already excited
It could have happened while we were talking about it.
You're right, and I don't have my...
Somebody checked their phone.
I have my phone, and I know it's a beef of yours at
We
times.
got dozens of people around here that, somebody, one of these interns checked their phone.
My phone is always on Do Not Disturb.
Instead of bringing you strawberries and bananas during the break, I would check a Do Thero's Twitter feed.
Don't forget the chocolate sauce, too.
Yeah.
Or the chocolate fountain. Seen those rants?
It's like you were in Destin or something.
Yeah, I need a chocolate fountain. That's what. See, you didn't bring back a couch or a massage chair from Butler Furniture last week.
Couldn't fit it in the car. Yeah.
So, what's the, not consultation? What's the second? Consolidation. Constellation should be you go get us a chocolate fountain.
A chocolate fountain.
A chocolate fountain.
You'd be dipping your finger in it. So
100%.
Nothing on a Do Thero's Twitter feed there, Colton?
No, sir.
Nothing new?
Recent. No, nothing new.
All right. Let's keep an eye on it. All right, quick word for Sawyer's. Our friend Buzz Sawyer can help you with all the home improvements you're looking to make for the outside of your home. Sunrooms, patio covers, pergolas. If your driveway's cracked and falling in and you need a new driveway, he can do that and do the decorative concrete that your neighbors have that your wife really wants. That's what Sawyer's can do for you. And they know what they're doing. They've been around since 1990. May know the name Buzz Sawyer. If you've watched Northside Athletics on YouTube TV and those places, he is the voice of the Grizzlies, so he understands kind of the broadcast business as well. And he does all kinds of commercial and residential work and provides a lifetime product warranty for all the work he does and quality craftsmanship to go along with it. Stop by and see them. They're on Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. You can see pictures and examples of the work at Sawyers-Sunrooms.com. That's Sawyers-Sunrooms.com for everything on the outside of your home.
See, you've been to Harmon Field and ref football games at Fayetteville High School before.
Many times.
Have you seen what's going to happen on the, like, close to Harmon Field? So they're putting in student housing on the east side
That'd be
of Fayetteville High School.
That'd be the visiting side above, which is not a very big visiting stadium or visiting seating on that side of the stadium.
294 units,
Ooh.
over 1,000 bedrooms. My beef on a What's Your Beef Wednesday is traffic around, like, game day and around that area is already awful.
Where is there going to be room for 294 units and parking for 294 units?
There's a whole neighborhood back there. Is that gone? They're going to build over it?
Yeah. Our friend Chris Harlan, he used to have a house there. It was basically at the 50-yard line behind that fence.
Is it gone or still there?
I don't know. I need
Somebody
to ask
had a
him.
big porch.
I know he sold it, but
I was reading this story. I think it was in the Fayetteville Flyer, and I was thinking to myself, like, that portion on game days is one of the worst. Where is the worst traffic in Arkansas? 877-377-6963. We've seen an incredible exponential growth in Northwest Arkansas.
Anywhere near a Chick-fil-A that just opened is usually the worst traffic in Arkansas.
That's the worst one. That's up there. But I was thinking about, because I really don't have to deal with a lot of traffic, and obviously, like, my friends in Dallas, Houston, Nashville, some much bigger metropolitan areas, Atlanta.
Atlanta's terrible.
We've obviously, like, we'll be there for SEC Media Days coming up in about a month and a half, and we'll just do the Lyft and Uber because of getting the airport and everything else. But just the traffic as a whole, what is the worst traffic area in Arkansas? You've driven a lot of high school games.
I'm going to tell you, and I haven't lived there in a number of years, but I've been there, and it's still, I think, the worst is Highway 59 in Van Buren between Exit 5 on I-40 and getting north of the Walmart there on Sand Springs. That is, and they built a new Chick-fil-A, put it right there. I haven't been, I'm sure that has not helped anything, but that stretch, because there's 1, 2, 3 traffic lights, and they don't seem to match up well at all. I would say that stretch on Highway 59, Van Buren, between the interstate and Sand Springs north of the Walmart is the worst.
Okay. That's a good one. B in Clarksville says Clarksville on payday. That's where he says. Ryan in Prairie Grove says Jonesboro. No doubt about it. 80,000 people on 100 acres. It's awful. Nate in Bentonville. The poop. Am I saying that right? Poopy stretch from Little Rock to Memphis on I-40.
Yeah.
Worst road.
That's a good one there. In Arkansas, that is a tough drive.
Mm-hmm. And I took it this past weekend going to Hoover and everything else.
Just hope to get lucky and that there's not a wreck.
I'm bad, and there wasn't a wreck. I will slingshot through 18-wheelers. If no one's in the car, I am a much more cautious driver when people are in the car, but when it's me solo, I just kind of ramp it and try and cut through and not ramp it, but like
driving on the shoulder or something?
No, just like there's a 18-wheeler on one side, there's an 18-wheeler on the left lane, and you just split the crevice at times.
Yesterday, what you're saying, I'm driving down Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, coming home, leaving here at 5:30 or whatever to go home from go home at the office, and a Jeep was passing, going through the intersection at 70, wasn't 74th, 71st.
Mm-hmm.
There, where Fish City Grill used to be, and a car ran in front, and bam!
Oh, slammed.
And I'm 100 yards behind this. I'm like, man, I'm really lucky that car didn't turn in front of me, because the Jeep that was in front of me was not at fault. The car that turned and got plowed, I mean, that could have been me just as easy. I'm like, wow,
got lucky,
got very lucky.
Caleb.
Sometimes you're a fraction of how long does it take to drive 100 yards at 40 miles an hour? Not very long. I mean, I'd have just been 1 second sooner. So lucky.
Well, when you are driving, I had to ask you to stop by our friends and see us at Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. I know David was talking yesterday between the Memorial Day sale and the hail sale. They need inventory. Larry's not a big fan. Go to the auction. So if you're in the Northwest Arkansas or River Valley market and you've thought about trading in your vehicle or just selling it, then you should stop by and at least get a consultation. Let them walk through, see what deal they can get for you from a trade standpoint. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith, Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Meineke Car Care Center is great at both locations. They both have high 4s on their ratings on the Google reviews because David and Larry have done a great job over the years taking care of Arkansans all over the place. Again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. Another text, Walton Boulevard in Bentonville is awful. Again, Northwest Arkansas is...
You try to get from I-49 out to Centerton at the wrong time of the day, good luck. I don't care which road you go on. Good luck.
Let's see.
Bella Vista is bad, but that's just because of the mean driving age.
Fridays and holidays, Austin and Van Buren says to lose their minds. And Colton, you said Bella Vista is bad?
Yeah, but that's not because there's any massive infrastructure. It's just because of the mean driving age is a little high.
Caleb says that Cabot is terrible. When's the last time you refed a game at Cabot?
Well, I had one this past year in football, but to go through there on, if you're going to Searcy or Cutting, you kind of get on the edge of Cabot going that way, but cut up by Bologna and 64 over to 67, 167.
This conversation stemmed from them building apparently student housing next to Harmon Field at Fayetteville High School. Mm-hmm. We know traffic on game day is already awful, and now adding, what did I say it was, over 1,000 rooms? Yeah, over 1,000 bedrooms, 294 units. I'm going to guess. And I realize the campus, and as a graduate, I love to see the growth of the University of Arkansas in a lot of different ways. We benefit, I think, across the state as the U of A continues to grow, get more people and everything else. But I don't know how much more that campus can take. Just don't. It's like you're out of room. We know that, and not a lot of areas for the traffic to go, especially on game days.
The high school campus is only getting bigger too because they haven't split. So,
well, they're landlocked. There's no place for development. There's no place for future growth. There's no more land in Fayetteville that they can expand at this point. So these stories that you're talking about here aren't going to be the last. Talk about traffic and worth it and getting through somewhere. I'm telling you, North Central Arkansas is the place. No one mentioned the drive to Gaston's is a hard drive. You get through town. I'm going to tell you then, once you come up 49 or whichever direction you're coming from, and you get about 40 or 50 miles out, it's just such a beautiful 2-lane drive. Few passing opportunities. Stop at the Kings River at Marble and get you some chicken strips on your way in. Head on into Gaston's and then just relax in your cabin or lodge. We got some folks here at the station going pretty soon that really looking forward to a great trip and a great couple days of fishing. I called yesterday to get a reservation for somebody, and they were like, hey, you need 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, you need a single, they got so many options when it comes to cabins. And then they'll help you with dinner reservations. They'll help you with the guides and all that and getting that reserved. And they got a great gift shop, so you can always take on a hat, a hoodie, T-shirt, or something that has the Gaston's logo on it as well. That lets everybody know that, hey, you're a pretty good angler if you're headed to Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202 is their number. 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time, every time.
Exclusive coverage at the Fayetteville Regional, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Arvest Bank, and Shelter Insurance agent Chris Dooley.
I mean, you couldn't ask for a better series than what we got right here.
For decades, the Rebel Crawfish has been a tackle box staple. But now, get ready for the next generation. Introducing the all-new Rebel Matte series of Rebel Crawfish. 4 all-new ultra matte colors that eliminate glare and enhance realism, mimicking a natural crawfish like never before. The same iconic shape and swimming action, but now with a stunning matte finish. Upgrade to the all-new matte series of Rebel Crawfish today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Dick's Sporting Goods, and local tackle shops everywhere. Rebel. Catch fish anywhere.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
I recognize I'm the one who ends up typically in front of the podium explaining not just myself, but ourselves. So good luck.
This is the Morning Rush. Up to $10,000 off on select GMC Sierras at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The GMC Sierra will conquer the road with confidence. Up to $10,000 off. Or lease the all-new 2025 GMC Hummer EV with hands-free driving assistance and go 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds for as low as $900 a month. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. We are professional grade. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
Your home is your biggest asset. So when you decide to add a sunroom, a patio cover, a new driveway, or new windows, you need to call a company you can trust. Sawyers has been part of your community for over 30 years. They're insured, licensed, and have 100% financing for all of their products. Take all the worry out of your next project. Call Sawyers and let them handle it from permitting to completion. Sawyers, serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas with a full showroom located in Fort Smith or online at sawyers-sunrooms.com.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. For a successful stint in the great outdoors, pack accordingly. Place heavy essentials near your spine for stability in rough terrain, with light items near the bottom. Now, you may be wondering, where does the Bush Light go? In your stomach. Bush. Head for the mountains. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2023, Anheuser-Busch, Bush Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
The Golf Nut is thrilled to introduce new products for 2025, including Cobra Dark Speed Adapt Woods and Irons, Ping G440 Woods and Irons, and TaylorMade QI35 Woods. Lap putters, including the latest OZ model, are also available. Whether you want to improve your swing or enjoy the game, the Golf Nut offers a range of options. Book a lesson or fitting on one of our indoor simulators and experience golfing greatness. Visit the Golf Nut at 5121 Towson Avenue for your ultimate golfing destination.
Do you need a professional website for your business?
business, don't pay thousands of dollars up front for a site that takes months to build. Modular Orange brings you the easy and affordable way to get a custom website in just a few weeks. They write it, build it, launch it, host it, secure it, and keep it up to date for only $95 a month with no upfront cost. There's a reason service-based businesses across Arkansas trust Modular Orange. Go to modularorange.com and find out how they can help. That's modularorange.com.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Brothers Roofing and Restoration, a licensed and insured local roofing contractor in Arkansas. Since his playing days for the Hogs, Brother Alexander has been on rooftops, many years as an adjuster, and in the past decade as a roofing contractor. He knows how to help you through the insurance process while replacing your roof using only the industry's best materials. And being a lifelong Arkansan, he'll be here to stand behind his workmanship and warranty. Call 479-353-3877 to arrange a time for Brother and his team to inspect your roof.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
I think you have to say he's in the upper half. I think what he did last year was really impressive, and then how he was able to still help Arkansas win football games when he's hurt was even more impressive. And the way Sam Pittman talks about him and how limited he was definitely made you start thinking about, like, okay, like, well, if he wasn't fully healthy last year and still won some football games, like, what can he do in 2025 with another offseason of Bobby Petrino? But, I mean, I'm not saying anything here that you guys don't know, but I would say that a lot of the 2025 season is going to be on Taylor Green's shoulders and what he can do for the offense and staying healthy.
That was Pete Nakos of On 3 who joined us in hour number one talking about a recent conversation he had with Sam Pittman. We talked about the SEC spring meetings, which are ongoing right now in Sandestin. And that, again, that part, Tom, of him talking about Taylor's health, obviously you want your QB1 to be healthy. Any fan base wants that. But hopefully with that bolstered offensive line that he was talking about, that won't be as much of an issue in 2025. Well, but he does run a lot, so you always have to balance that too.
I've heard it. I've heard it all about the offensive line in the last 5 years. So until I see it, until it happens, I'm just going to assume it's going to be like it's been the last four.
Well, let's break it down. 2020 first year, whatever. 2021 best in Power 5. 22 top 10, top 15. 23 awful. 24 not awful but pretty bad. They're due.
Dozen to awful.
They're due.
Well, that's one of my favorites.
Well, I think it's so, like, with Sam Pittman and always the conversation surrounding him. Great relationship guy. Relationships, unfortunately, to him and anyone else in the business have not gone by the wayside, but they're not as important. And then, like, the offensive line, and I know Nick Saban's had bad defenses too. We've talked about that, but that's the calling card, and it hasn't been there the last 2 years.
Valley Family Dental, formerly known as Riley Farm Dental, is there for you. If you snore, your wife's elbowing you in the middle of the night, go to the couch, I can't sleep, you're making too much noise. Call and ask about the Snore Guard and get $300 off right now. 479-226-3500. Dr. Sparkman does a custom Snore Guard that's built just for you. This isn't something out of a box and then you got to mold it and all that. No. This isn't your mouthpiece from, fifth grade football where your mom boiled it and then you chewed on it and it about burned your gut. No.
Squirming around.
No. This is a custom Snore Guard just for you, made by Dr. Sparkman at Valley Family Dental. 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A. Again, $300 off. Call 226-3500 or go to valleyfamilydentalpractice.com.
All right, so as we close out today's show here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market, I'm going to give you the most Arkansas baby names in 2024 that are more common. Are you ready?
Okay.
Start with the females. Hadley, Imberlin, Berkeley, Hattie, and Callie. Do we like any of those?
Sure.
Males are Riggs.
Hadley sounded wonderful.
Riggs, Princeton, Houston, Daxton, Stetson.
All sound like DB names to me, but whatever. That's what your generation's doing right now.
My generation. Now, Cole,
How many unnecessary vowels are in those female names? That's what I want to know. That's the typical calling card of most Arkansas names. Is just unnecessary vowels, extra E's
and
and
extra
I's.
Ann,
Yeah.
Sally Ann,
Yeah.
Jennifer Ann. I feel like that's a part of it being in the South.
Tammy Lynn.
I was
Heather
hoping
Lynn.
for some more feedback from people on that.
A stronger opinion?
Yeah.
You want a little stronger opinion? It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday, brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Father's Day's coming up. Treat Dad to something great from Richard's Country Meat Market. About a 2-inch thick bone-in ribeye. It'd probably suit Dad for Father's Day. Gift certificates are available as well. They've got everything you need, even the ready-to-cook items like their sides, house-made burgers, the ready-to-grill kebabs. It's all there. 479-226. Hang on. Hey, right? 479-443-0000 for Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville.
All right, that's going to do it for us here on the Morning Rush Halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones coming your way next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing.